Sonia, Uche, and Thelma grew up in a neighborhood where hope was a luxury few could afford. The roads were dusty, the houses made of cracked concrete, and the sound of generators filled the air whenever power went out, which was often. Their families struggled to make ends meet, and the dreams of a better life seemed like a faraway fantasy. Sonia's father, once a proud mechanic, had lost his shop after a fire destroyed everything. Her mother sold akara by the roadside, working long hours to keep her children fed. Uche's parents were both unemployed after the factory they worked shut down. Thelma, the youngest of the 5 siblings, lived in a cramped room with her entire family, surviving on her mother's meager earnings as a petty trader. "Life isn't fair," Sonia often said as the girls walked home from school, avoiding potholes and leering men. "The people who have money don't work for it, and those who work for it never get rich." "Tell me about it," Uche replied, kicking a stone along the road. "What's the point of dreaming when we know we will end up like our parents?" "But we don't have to," Thelma chimed in. "We are smart. We are beautiful. We can use that to get out of here." It was this shared desperation that bound them together. They weren't just friends. They were survivors, united by a burning desire to escape the circle of poverty. Their journey through high school only deepened their resentment for the system. The girls quickly realized that hard work wouldn't get them the grades they needed to succeed. Their teachers were poorly paid and easily bribed, and the girls took full advantage of that. "Why should we kill ourselves studying when we can just sort it out?" Sonia said one evening as they sat under a tree behind their school. "I mean, it's not like the lecturers care," Uche added. "They only care about their pockets. You need to see Mr. Okoro's face when I told him I was failing because his lectures are too boring," Sonia asked, tossing her braid over her shoulder as she leaned back in her chair. Thelma burst out, clapping her hands. "What did he say?" he asked. "How could I fix it?" "So, of course, I fixed it," Sonia replied, her lips curling into a smirk. Uche rolled her eyes, though a smile played on her lips. "You're something else, Sonia. I swear, you've turned manipulation into an art form." And so the 3 friends began to climb, seducing teachers, paying off examiners, and blackmailing anyone who got in their way. By the time they graduated, they had spotless transcripts but no real skills. Their high school exploits might have ended there if not for the day they met Jessica. Jessica was everything they wanted to be: confident, wealthy, and untouchable. She was a final year student at a nearby university, but her reputation had spread far and wide. People whispered about her lavish lifestyle, her designer clothes, her expensive cars, and the older men who funded it all. The girls first saw her at a local club, where she walked in like she owned the place. Heads turned as she strutted to the VIP section, her heels clicking against the floor. "Who is that?" Thelma asked, her eyes wide open. "That's Jessica," a nearby guy whispered. "She's dangerous." For Sonia, Uche, and Thelma, Jessica was the epitome of what they wanted to become. They didn't care about the warnings. They wanted to befriend her. Their opportunity came a week later when they ran into Jessica at a boutique. "Excuse me, but I love your bag," Sonia said, her voice dripping with admiration. Jessica glanced at them, her sharp eyes assessing each of them. "Thanks, it's Gucci." The girls introduced themselves, and Jessica, intrigued by their boldness, invited them to sit with her at a nearby restaurant. Over the food and pastries they couldn't afford, she told them about her life. "Money is power," Jessica said, sipping her drink, "and men are the easiest way to get it. But you have to play smart, be ruthless." Jessica's words were like a spark in dry grass. The girls clung to her every word, eager to learn from her. "You want to live like me?" Jessica asked, leaning in. "Then stick with me. I will show you how it's done." Hey lovelies! Hope you find this story interesting. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel at African Storytales by Abby. Like, share, and drop a comment. Grab your popcorn as we dive deeper into the more intriguing parts of this story. Thank you! After high school, the harsh reality of unemployment hit them hard. Jobs were scarce, and the ones available paid peanuts. Sonia tried working at a roadside eatery, but quit after 2 weeks, fed up with the long hours and rude customers. Uche worked as a sales girl in a boutique, only to be fired when the owner accused her of stealing. Thelma sold recharge cards on the street, but barely made enough to eat. "This is not the life I signed up for," Sonia said one evening as they sat in a small room. "There has to be a better way," Thelma added, and then Jessica called. Jessica introduced them to a world they never knew existed. A world of secret parties, wealthy men, and dangerous deals. But she also introduced them to something darker: the cult. "You want to be rich?" Jessica asked one night as they gathered in her luxurious apartment. "Then you have to stop thinking like small girls. Wealth comes with sacrifice." She told them about a ritual that would bind them to a powerful native doctor. The charm, she explained, would make them irresistible to men and ensure that anyone who slept with them would lose everything while they gained wealth. "It's not for the faint heart," Jessica warned. "Once you're in, there's no turning back." The girls hesitated, but only for a moment. They were desperate, and desperation makes people do unthinkable things. The ritual took place in a secluded shrine, deep in the forest. The native doctor, an old man with piercing eyes, prepared the charm and smeared their forehead with a dark paste. "With this charm," he said, "you will control any man who lies with you. His wealth will become yours, and his life will crumble. But do not betray each other, or else the spirit will demand blood." They swore their loyalty to the cult and to one another, sealing their fate. The charm worked beyond their wildest dreams. They targeted wealthy men, seducing them effortlessly and leaving them in ruins. Their victims lost everything: money, family, and even their health, while the girls amassed in unimaginable wealth. After their initiation into the cult and the successes of their manipulative schemes, Sonia, Uche, and Thelma were living the lives they had always dreamed of: lavish vacations, luxury cars, high-end fashion. Life was perfect, or so it seemed. However, Beneath the surface of their extravagant lifestyle, cracks were beginning to form. Uche had met Michael during one of her rare solo outings. It was a quiet evening at an upscale town where she had gone to unwind, away from the relentless scheming that now consumed their life. Michael had approached her with a kind smile and an air of confidence that immediately caught her attention. "Excuse me," he said, standing near her table. "Is this seat taken?" Uche looked up, startled. Most men who approached her were either boastful or desperate to impress her with their wealth. But Michael was different. He was polite, calm, and seemingly uninterested in her outward appearance. "No, it's not," she replied, gesturing to the chair. Over the next hour, they talked about everything: life, dreams, and even the struggles of their respective pasts. For the first time in years, Uche felt like someone saw her for who she was, not just her beauty or charm. "I'm Michael, by the way," he said as they exchanged numbers. "Uche," she replied, smiling softly. What started as a casual encounter quickly blossomed into a whirlwind romance. Uche knew she was treading on a dangerous ground. Their paths forbade emotional attachments, and Michael had no idea about her dark past, but she couldn't resist him. Meanwhile, Sonia had also started seeing someone new. It wasn't uncommon for the girls to date casually, often targeting wealthy men to strengthen their influence. But this time, Sonia seemed genuinely taken with her new boyfriend. "You won't believe who I'm seeing," Sonia gushed to Uche and Thelma during one of their spa days. "Another billionaire?" Thelma teased. "Not quite," Sonia replied with a smirk. "But he's charming, smart, and absolutely gorgeous. His name is Michael." "Michael?" Uche froze, her heart skipping a beat. "Michael?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. "Yes," Sonia said, completely unaware of Uche's reaction. "We met at a charity gala last month. He's not like the others. He actually listens to me. I think this might be serious." Uche felt the walls closing in around her. She wanted to tell Sonia the truth, but she knew it would end in disaster. Instead, she kept quiet, hoping the relationship would fizzle out. Weeks later, Sonia decided to host a surprise house party to introduce Michael to her friends. She spared no expense, renting out a luxurious mansion and hiring the best caterers and decorators. "This party is going to be unforgettable," Sonia said as she finalized the guest list. "And I can't wait for you to meet Michael properly." Uche's heart sank. She had tried to avoid Sonia's invitation, making excuses to stay away from the couple. But this time, there was no room for escape. The night of the party arrived, and the mansion was buzzing with energy. Guests in designers' outfits sipped champagne as soft music played in the background. Uche arrived late, hoping to blend into the crowd unnoticed. Sonia was waiting at the entrance, radiant in a shimmering gold dress. "Finally!" Sonia exclaimed, pulling Uche into a hug. "You have to meet him. Michael is dying to meet my best friends." Before Uche could protest, Sonia led her into the main living area. And there he was, Michael, standing by the bar, looking as handsome as ever. When his eyes met Uche's, his smile faltered, replaced by a look of shock and recognition. "Michael, this is Uche," Sonia said, beaming, "one of my closest friends." For a moment, time seemed to stop. Uche and Michael stared at each other, their unspoken history hanging heavy in the air. "Nice to meet you," Michael said finally, extending a hand. "Likewise," Uche replied, her voice barely a whisper. Later that evening, Uche cornered Michael in one of the quiet rooms. "What are you doing here?" she demanded. "I could ask you the same thing," he replied, his voice laced with frustration. "Why didn't you tell me you were friends with Sonia? And why didn't you tell me you have a girlfriend?" Uche demanded. "I didn't know," Uche said, her voice breaking. "I didn't even know you two were seeing each other until few weeks ago." Michael ran a hand through his head, pacing the room. "This is a mess, Uche. What are we supposed to do?" Before she could answer, the door opened and Sonia walked in. "What's going on here?" she asked, her eyes darting between them. "Sonia, I can explain," Uche began, but it was too late. The realization dawned on Sonia like a storm. Her expression hardened as the pieces fell into place. "You knew?" she said, her voice low and trembling. "You knew I was dating him and you didn't say anything." "Sonia, you betrayed me," Sonia hissed, her eyes blazing with fury. "How long has this been going on?" "It's not what you think," Uche pleaded. "I met him before you did. I didn't know he was your boyfriend." Sonia's face twisted in anger. "You're lying." "No, I'm not," Uche said, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't know at first, but then I realized. I didn't know how to tell you." Sonia staggered back, as if the truth had physically struck her. The party ended in chaos. Sonia demanded Michael leave immediately, refusing to listen to his attempts to explain. Uche tried to console her, but Sonia lashed out. "You've destroyed everything," Sonia screamed. "Do you even realize what you've done? The path, the cult, they will kill us if they find out." "I love him," Uche said, her voice firm despite her tears. "I didn't plan for this, but I can't deny how I feel." Sonia shook her head, her expression cold. "Then you've chosen your side." The rift between them was irreparable, and the once unbreakable bond between the three girls was shattered forever. The tension escalated, and the words of Uche's betrayal reached the cult. The native doctor summoned them back to the shrine, where he delivered his verdict: "One of you must die." Desperate to save herself, Sonia turned on Uche. "It's her fault. She broke the oath." But Uche fought back, determined to protect Michael. A violent confrontation ensued, and the native doctor intervened, declaring that the spirit had chosen. In a blinding flash of light, Sonia and Thelma disappeared, leaving only Uche behind. Uche and Michael fled the country, leaving behind the darkness of their past. They started a new life, but Uche was haunted by the memories of what they had done. In the end, she realized that ambition without integrity leads to destruction, a lesson learned too late. Hey lovelies, hope you find this story interesting. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel at African Story Tales by Abby. Like, share with family and friends, and drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you learned from this story. Also, kudos to my founding subscribers who has always supported me and sticked around. I remain your favorite storyteller, African Story Tales by Abby. Bye!